any sort of challenge? Give an idea of what you've been seeing.
Things change literally minute by minute at the moment, don't they? Even the weather, it was blowing a gale and raining just about 5 minutes ago. Now the sun it's out, but honestly, this is the coldest street in England where I'm standing. Even though the sun's over there, it doesn't make its way over here. But look, where we are is in a state of chaos, frankly. Labour indulging in exactly the sort of civil war that they promised that they wouldn't do, and they said we'll restore calm, competent government. Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary, has done one of the two things that we were expecting from him today, in that he has resigned from his position. He's written a pretty damning letter to the Prime Minister, including phrases like where we would vacuum, where we need direction, grip. And he's also said leaders take responsibility. Too often that other people falling on their swords. But what he hasn't done is trigger a leadership content. He hasn't put those 81 names that his allies insist he has through to the NEC to trigger a contest. And in actual fact, he is talking about the Prime Minister wants to stand down and meet all the best talent. Now, that brings to me, as Andy Burnham, the Mayor of Greater Manchester, currently doesn't have a seat. We thought he might announce it today, but apparently that MP has said no. And that means potentially that this could run for and it seems like Wes Streeting has decided not to trigger that.
Yeah, which would have been the Thursday. Yeah. But then you got the overnight when the results came.
Yeah, well, I was outside for it, so I did that, and went home about an hour and a half.
Yeah, well, I did the overnight, so I was on all night.
And that was disavow
I got that, yeah.
To be done. Also, awareness.
It's basically most of us were the stronger interest.
And that will go away.
They're hardly waiting for the result, thinking it's going to be. There is a result of just seen an opportunity.
It's like anything politics don't want. But like guys probably with families who are now jobless and they're like,
Have they got any kit? Somebody's left. Oh, wow, look at this kit bag.
clip. Convinced they have got the big ideas that can actually make the public start listening.
It must have a break restriction.
Better communicate. You're back. Say something. Jack, applause. Thanks very much. We're going to take a short break here. Downing Street, where we are, is that as we're talking now, the Health Secretary resigned in a pretty brutal letter, and still no formal leadership challenge. You're watching this.
Tell my boss a story.
Go back, sorry.
Sorry, Jamie Lawrence.
Jack has got a new line. If you could go back to the top.
Humble shooting part.
I can see your mind.
I'm just like, I'm trying to put the pieces together.
What's next in terms of results? Exactly. The Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, has resigned in the last half or so, saying he has lost confidence in Mr. Streeting has not yet triggered the leadership challenge. It's an important distinction. He's resigned for a challenge as an official staff. In his letter to Keir Starmer, Wes Streeting says it is now clear that he will not lead the Labour Party into the next general election. I think what comes next should be a battle of ideas, especially with the paragraph in the strategy. Wes Streeting says where we need vision, we have vacuum, where we need direction, we have drift. This is understood by the score speech on Monday. Leaders take responsibility, but too often that is when other people fall into the swords. You also need to listen to your colleagues, these tools, ventures, the heavy-handed approach.
Sorry, my head's going to everything.
It's a brazen.
And we wait to hear Wes Streeting's replacement. We wait to hear any response.
Oh, well done, Leo. Let's get it on. They made weird clicking noises. Sound like an alien.
I think what's going to happen is just like asking for personal points, and they'll be able to they may just release a statement.
Making sure they're shoring up the support. Welcome here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, Mark.
That's really interesting because Labour knows himself to the charge that in his he's marched all his supporters up the hill. He's been very open in recent weeks saying he would like to be Prime Minister. It's got to this stage with all the briefings over the last few days. And you think at the very last moment he may not actually challenge the Prime Minister? Let's flip this around. In terms of number 10, the Prime Minister, he has made it absolutely clear he wants to fight on, he will take on any challenger, that is what he is saying. Can you see a route where he can actually succeed in that and stay here in number 10 and see off the challenger? His argument that he's not a quitter. There were moments when he was leader of opposition where he defied his critics. There were almost never win the election, defied his critics. And he now says, look, we come in, the inheritance is terrible, it is going to take us time, we are en route. Point to the GDP figures today, maybe the health figures also, that Wes Streeting was also, and say, this needs time, and I am in the right direction, and I am the right person. About exactly that.
at the numbers, had those 81 names. And crucially, even though the Health Secretary has resigned and he's been removed from the government website as Health Secretary, we still don't know whether Wes Streeting has those 81 numbers because he's resigned, but he hasn't launched a leadership challenge. Now, we're being told that he hasn't done it because it would mean a whole load of ministers would have to go, and that would sort of disembowel the government and make it difficult for stuff to get done. Also, that he wants a competition of all the best talent, leaving the door open to Andy Burnham, the Mayor of Greater Manchester, who doesn't have a seat in Parliament and is still looking for a seat or an MP to stand down for a by-election. And that the Health Secretary realised that without Andy Burnham in the mix, it was all going to be incredibly difficult. But the fact is that now where we are is there is currently no leadership challenge. So a whole load of other ministers might resign, or they might not. The Prime Minister might resign, although I really think that's very unlikely at this point from everything I've heard from people in Number 10. Or basically, nothing might happen now. The PM might not resign, Wes Streeting might not trigger the challenge, Angela Rayner might not trigger the challenge because she said that she won't go first, Andy Burnham doesn't have a seat. So there is a real possibility that this sort of chaos just goes on. And something which I find incredibly bizarre is Catherine West. You might remember her name from the weekend. I think probably most people have never heard of her. She was a backbench MP. At the weekend, she decided to say the Cabinet needs to tell the PM to go, and if they don't do it, I am going to mount a challenge. She's actually been on the radio this afternoon, and she's been saying that the Prime Minister might win a leadership challenge, and she's actually not ruled out voting for the Prime Minister in a leadership challenge. I really could not make this stuff up. I just find the whole situation so surreal. I feel like we've fallen through the looking glass at this point, because this was a government elected on a promise to stop the chaos, to not have infighting, to not be changing leaders like the Tories did, but it does feel at the moment like we're heading to a sixth Prime Minister in just 7 years. Thank you.
That's all right, we can sleep. You know what?
Hello, I'm hoping you can tell me what's going on. Yes. Am I going to Martin?
Leadership crisis. My dog's there. To be the way it plays out. I think this all goes away. All of those criticisms that we heard from the electorate early last week, they are not listening to Keir Starmer.
And you are as well.
And your government.
Great, because basically Martin asked if he could have me in the studio because I'm on my own and I'd really like you. And I said, well, I'd be happy, but I don't think, So I spoke to Nick and Nick was like, oh, I don't know. So then he left him and I didn't hear anymore. I'm assuming so. I'll check, then I will move. Cool. I'll double check. Okay. I'd just be so happy to get in out cold, to be honest. Oh, fiver. All right, cool. I look forward to seeing you. Amazing, amazing. Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, thanks so much. Thanks, bye-bye.
Many MPs, your own choices, have been open, signed letters saying they can see goals. Something different. So those are valid views. And does this not reach a point where it actually has to be thrashed out?
Hello, I'm assuming the fact that Tom is coming here means that I'm going to greet you when you arrive. Brilliant. So I'm just waiting until he's basically here and ready to go on before I move, yeah? Okay, so I can go. I won't make, are they doing news bulletins or they're not? I won't make the very top, but I'll just get there as soon as I can, yeah? Cool, all right, great. Thank you, no problem, thanks, bye.
Are they listening to him? You listed all those bills and you hope will change things. All of that may or may not be true. But it's no good if they're not listening to it. And that's what all the evidence of last week was, and prior to that, we have no personal knowledge.
He's singing along to rescue. Yeah.
Let me ask you a final question. That may not emerge. Are you personally sticking with Keir Starmer if we move into that world? It was very interesting. I was listening to a Labour MP yesterday who's a supporter of Keir Starmer, also signed the letter supporting Keir Starmer. But when he was asked if we get to a leadership contest, would you continue to support the Prime Minister, he didn't provide an answer, was pushed and still didn't provide an answer. Are you sticking with Keir Starmer, come what may, whoever enters any sort of race? We have to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us. We haven't reached the moment of leadership change, but let's just take us through some of the process, how it would happen if it is triggered. So this is what needs to happen for there to be a change in the top job within the Labour Party. Unless the leader resigns, the only way the leadership change is triggered is if Labour MPs challenge. Any challenger supported and accept the Labour which raises the current numbers that takes less of it. Now, Labour MPs will need to get behind any contender. At that point, any challenger nominees will need to get support from 5% of constituency parties. All that will be through affiliates. To effect what will happen. Nominees must include an entity which is currently called out some temporary challenges. Gather kickstart and should ballot the company that is automatically on the ballot. So those are some of the rules that are in place. Let's talk to the economist, Guardian newspaper, welcome to BBC. Into your headline, Lord, it's been just the most fluid week politically. Where do you think we now are with this latest resignation? I was talking to a Labour backbencher just now, sorry to cut across you, a supporter of Keir Starmer, who's saying he continues to score it, he's the best man in the job. Do you think he's in denial?
Is Tony swapping out? Are you currently full? Oh, there. Oh, right, okay. Are you on it?
Hey, Jack. Jack. Are you doing this here, or am I? Me at top of 3.
That's all right.
Okay. I'm yours
Okay.
for an extra 2.5 hours. Till 5:30. Then you'll probably get kicked out very anyway, won't you?
Lovely. Thank you. He'll be here, I imagine, 5 minutes past. So you nudge.
Did you know how
You've got 40 seconds.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Stay for attack.
I'm going to jump in there.
Let's hope it holds until 7 o'clock it goes out.
That's the thing, yeah.
But if it doesn't, you just drop it and deal with it.
What if anything
Not really breaking news.
Doing this year, I'll be fine. I'll do it and the other way. Oh, that's sure. I could have come down before, couldn't I?
It's been another huge day here for the Prime Minister. His Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, has resigned. We're all expecting that he's going to try and trigger a leadership challenge against his now former boss. The big question is, does he have the right group of MPs backing him to allow him to do that? If he doesn't, that's good news for the Prime Minister. If he does, the Prime Minister will try and fight it, and the chaos is just going to continue.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much, mate.
Right.
I think it's pretty evergreen anyway.
I think so.
Is this my spirit?
So that's for your microphone.
Whose is this? I'm set up, million. Look. I just need somewhere to speak.
Oh, here we go. So you have done.
challenge and the resignations. In a letter to Keir Starmer, Wes Streeting says it's now clear that he will not leave the Labour Party. Ideas. One specialist. The paragraph included in that. We need vision. Values. So we need direction. It's underscored by your speech on Monday. Leaders take responsibility for too often other people's mistakes. You also need to listen to your colleagues in that venture approach to leadership.
Well, do you want to get this into you, Tony, so that your shot is actually going out on our lines?
So they can have another play when you're ready to walk out. But because we're top of the hour, they'll take it. Good to see you, though. You're out.
Yeah, I'm good. Well, give it now. It's actually all done and ready to go. And there's a hot swap. You can stick it on the stand when you want, so don't get started.
West MP,
Well, Martin, it was what everyone was waiting for all day. A couple of hours ago, we finally got that message through from the Health Secretary, I should now say the former Health Secretary, that Wes Streeting has resigned from this government. Now, allies of Wes Streeting throughout yesterday were intimating this potential outcome, but of course everything was in this strange level of suspended animation due to the King's speech, due to the grandiosity of the state opening of Parliament. And yet today it feels like we are now on a new footing. Yes, we have seen one cabinet resignation, but let's not forget that follows 4 ministerial resignations and 6 PPS resignations, the lowest rung of the sort of payroll vote. We've seen almost 100 Labour MPs demand that the Prime Minister must go, and that is now added to by Wes Streeting's name himself. All eyes now are on what else happens with cabinet who else in the cabinet might resign? And crucially, Martin, as you said in your introduction, what do we hear from Angela Rayner, from Ed Miliband, from Andy Burnham? None of these individuals have spoken since Wes Streeting resigned at about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So we really are now looking at what could happen in the next hour, 2 or 3. People will have had time now to process Wes Streeting's resignation, read it through, perhaps even start to write letters of their own. This is the real crunch time now in terms of what the next steps are, in terms of what happens next. It was a message that I think will have stuck in the back of the neck of many people out there in the country, many people who have stopped voting for the Labour Party and have switched their millions to the Reform Party. However, sort of think about who the audience for this letter was. The audience, it appears, not people out there in the wider country who stopped voting for the Labour Party. The audience is those who continue to vote for the Labour Party, indeed who pay monthly subs to the Labour Party. So Wes Streeting there really trying to reach out to the Labour Party's selections most likely, trying to get his message to colleagues in the Labour Party, rather than talking to the public. It is funny that you mentioned this sort of English nationalism that Wes Streeting alleges the Reform Party represents. Because of course it wasn't just in England that the Reform Party won seats. On Thursday people went to vote not just in England, but in Scotland and Wales too. And now a man called Dan Thomas is the leader of the opposition in Wales. He's the leader of the Reform Party in Wales. Wales, in the Senate, the second largest party is that from Reform. And equally in Scotland, by the number of seats, the second largest party is Malcolm Offort's Reform Scotland. So when it comes to the scale of the victories that Reform had in the local elections and indeed national elections in Scotland and Wales, it wasn't just success in England that Reform had. They won the second highest number of seats in Scotland and in Wales. So that is a really significant sort of point to make when it comes to this claim of English nationalism. Although I do see the point that Wes Streeting was trying to make there, that he was saying that on sort of all fronts in all of these countries, there is a more nationalistic challenge that Labour faces. If you look up in Scotland, the SNP won big, in Wales, Plaid Cymru won big, and in England, Reform won big. Farage is trying to sort of link all of these different forms of nationalism. I think perhaps it would be a British nationalism with Reform rather than an English one, but still trying to link these all together and say that this is the challenge that the Labour Party faces, a battle on all fronts.
This one can't come in. Yeah, you pay back. Yeah, the bike.
No, no,
Yeah. I literally no idea. Let me ask.
Is this one? that one.
It's been searched.
And did ask.
Yeah, I mean, ministers do get a health certificate, you know.
I don't blame you, I'd be the same.
I'm going to text to find the precise time.
Thomas, move this one out because that's my one, and then that's all right. Then Henry's. Thanks. Tony. There you go. That's you there and that. Yeah. Super. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, it's fine. I've just used it as a placeholder at the moment. It's fine. Yeah. But. Yeah.
How long have you been all day? If someone does come out, I'll need you to come here and hold the mic. If someone does come out, I need you to come out and hold the mic.
Yeah, fine. It's not, I'm not going to
No, but if someone... No, absolutely not. If someone comes out, because I haven't got light chat. Yeah, so like if they could just sort of come out and No, like...
There hasn't been much switch. Is there? I mean, the street.
Yes, you've got Lucy. You've seen that. And tomorrow, I mean, I'm happy to bring up with you. You just gonna walk in? Okay, yeah, fine. So we're gonna walk in.
Sadly, no serious left with another. I should take it now.
What's up? 8 in the morning? Oh yeah, I was at the top of the Lucy's coming here. Lucy's coming here. I've got to leave at 4:30 to do a little tour. More step 5 now. In descending order, number 94. Resigning. What's the job made? I'm all NCTJs. Oh really? Yes. NCTJ, the one the PA runs.
If I move too quickly. It'll last a bit. Thanks, man.
No, actually, I've got contribution.
Oh, it's just over here.
Yeah, give me one of my crimes, Goodman.
Yeah. You're 35 or you're 24.
any rumours on
Madrid. I like Girona more than Marbella. I'm sorry, but Marbella is full of British. Girona is more like Spanish city.
What if the honest assessment? What if the honest assessment is in part it's Keir Starmer himself? Because if the leaders talk about policy, you know, that's the other massive part of the process. So what happens about the honest conversation as he is the most control?
how long are you giving it, Phil?
I'm leaving it
I don't think it's happened by far.
So yeah, successful turn.
You share that assessment that the polls and response is really no the levels of proof so often
Who's going to say this stuff? Yeah, I've got to
Prime Minister changed their style. I remember way back when around a couple of those PR gurus around 5 years. Massive delay.
Come up with anything like that idea? Yeah, go and work and save.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're not?
I'm so embarrassed. Can you imagine how embarrassing?
That's it.
What's he do over there? That's fucking jobs.
This side tomorrow, go to a truck Friday. I've lost it because we've got some baby projects, which is really a day of Thursday.
Well, that's the thing. I'd rather do like a demo back here, to be honest. At least you're sort of doing something.
Well, I was thinking all day today, it'll be another day this tomorrow. We don't know what's going on. Look.
Downing Street, this is
Video photography day.
the latest situation. Wes Streeting, the health secretary,
Like with it.
Well,
I guess it's who they're inviting.
That's probably the other thing. It's weird the way that it is.
in his letter, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer
No, it just goes to
general elections at a forecast day. Should be to have no ideas, especially the paragraph.
Most of that is 7 couple of things combined.
Tomorrow, the point of ghost ship. I've actually swum very near. Yeah. Well, walk is kind of that one on the trend. Some holidays, Cornwall, Wes Streeting, Paul's eyes on the other side of this street. West. Rick Stein's place. Padstone's just around the corner. It's all very small.
There's still one who's massive out. That's not wine.
Chief Floyd.
Yeah. No,
he's dead, isn't he?
Yeah.
Rick Stein owns about the whole Padstone, basically. Every restaurant and pub is owned by Rick Stein.
Because he has been talking also to the MC about putting his name forward, supporting the Streeting for leadership contests, but also talking widely about
Yeah, it's my own. My music name is 6.
warning before we had that news about Wes Streeting against it, about the sort of chaos perhaps
But that was one of the places.
Place or the name of the pub?
I can. I don't have to. Yeah. I've got.
Sounds better than toast.
Yeah.
Should we suggest these?
Yeah. Oh, it's Tungsten. You usually have secretaries.
You give them a lot of time.
Tungsten tip screws.
Oh, John's got things.
Random parties, isn't it? Just bought some tungsten tip screws. Never going to use them. Never going to use them.
2 years August.
Chef Francis, we'll get another part. Time ourselves.
Could have went in. No, probably not. I don't think we got it wrong. The only thing that's probably
Just in the background. 2 people got there.
No, like, push yourself. You have to be so good. So good. You know when to stop. I did stop, but then there was a few people I should have invited I didn't. I wish I did. Because I had to start for the whole day. And I was thinking, you've got to have a couple.
You started it.
Shall I just spread the room out?
Well, I totally basically started the room and just walked off. That's how you do it. You lob one in and then just walk off.
Yeah, just roll the grenade in.
Wilson's been sacked.
You've been eyeing that up for a while, haven't you?
Probably, yeah, it's cheaper. You get mad at it.
It's got a flash on it. Just fired a flash on it about 100 times. Type mildly lukewarm. Cheating me up. It was encouraging me. Thanks, sir.
So she said, I'm not going to job
Sitting there for a fresh part of your health centre.
So that was back.
Yeah, I guarantee it'll be here.
So, Alex, let us take stock first of all. Are any names being thrown around as who will replace Wes Streeting?
For health centre. You normally do a big show. Like you want it's a big job.
This one came out that was Jeremy Hunt. He came out plus yeah, double thumbs up.
So very limited. The news about Angela Rayner, how much does that change the various calculations that result in it?
But that's why we do so many, because you go to other countries and stress don't really do those
probably to drop
because they get told whereas we always have to do it because we don't get given all the information. It's just stand there, wait.
And that's obviously to let people some people
yeah, colour shops are a bit of a happiness.
Yes, it sort of leaves the politics in a limbo and always treats it. Where are you in terms of what you're doing about the gun balance? The logic be if you had the numbers, a move would be made.
Yeah, exactly. Do car shop. When I was back in the courses, I think something figure out.
That's the person saying yes.
Yes, we heard at length talking about under all this that is very everything is sold
I see loads of shops. The first shop is
in a moment or two, but if we do get to a challenge, the timeline becomes hugely important. Just remind people who are watching it, tuned in, it's very different the way the Conservative Party did it, and I have to say, did a repeat one.
Yeah.
Leave it there, but we'll pick up some of those thoughts in a moment. So it's a good time to leave it because we're joined on the programme by General Bolton, a member of the Labour Party's National Executive Committee, the perfect guest to have as we're having this discussion. Where do you think we are when it comes to any sort of timeline if we do get to leadership challenge? Trying to make this a wider, full NEC decision about a timeline, not the narrow, smaller group that made that January decision. Are you clear in your mind that if there was a contest, it should be on the timeline to enable and to actually find the challenge for them?
Thank you. Our video stream.
Why doesn't Keir Starmer deserve the chance to go on? He overhauled the party, he won a landslide election, things Liverpool, he knew that right from the onset. Why doesn't he deserve the chance to see if the party's laid out does improve this You had change on your manifesto. You had change on your manifesto. You still need change. But what is the change? People talk about the party doing things very differently. What is the difference that you would like to see?
Yeah. What you? How long? I've got to leave to Lucy's coming to take her back in, and then
How long will I have to be back?
I'm not the old. I've locked my keys in the flat. what's it?
Didier, you're going to talk me on the programme.
This. Let's have a look outside.
Count you get
Yeah, that's fine. Just put it 5 minutes.
balance it so the studio is slightly louder in my ear compared to output.
Yeah, but it's easy for TV because they just film the car. We can't. We've got to get more.
I'll take you that
Well, I think
photo,
the
that there, everything else. That one is me, you just
Sit down.
Put me down to do talks about CTJ. Pretty good in that. I thought, well, I've got to go and do more things. So that's why
that place, even though there's so much talk about it.
I'm kind of gardening.
Alex, give us just a flavour of the place.
see you after the World Cup. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Just he messaged me.
Suppose the next step is for someone in one of those camps to make a move.
Yeah.
Was he in the Audi when he came?
He said he
They're coming from the road down in the gate to October. In fact, I wouldn't mind betting they're coming round to the back.
Yes, certainly.
To park at the back. Oh, really? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you'll probably see two rangers. Alright then. Yeah, okay. Well,
It is
yeah, exactly.
within the possibility of all of these
Okay,
things.
alright, cheers, yeah. I know. Well, I obviously do it on purpose.
We're going to take just the shortest of breaks. We'll have a very
You go.
right up.
How was, you've been to Tenerife back since the last time.
Yeah, it did look quite nice.
Standing on the cliff tops, waiting, looking at. Yeah, I saw the day when they because they did a wide view of all the media and the high vis. So they just let you in. I saw you took a picture of standing on the.
Was it quite remote? Several things to talk about, Jay. Tell me what strings here. I know, it's simple. Like your local string. And then 3 days later, that.
Can I just have a quick look?
You know, he doesn't want to go anywhere. He just wants to move to Germany, be with his missus, just do stuff in Germany. We're all like, we want to travel. Jay's like, best I can do is save Christmas bra on everything.
Are you going in socks?
He doesn't want to go. Absolutely. Jeff, they're literally just doing politics now. It's bullshit. Jeff is really, really fed up. Then he'll phone him up every now and then and go, oh, can you do an eclipse in Spain? And Jeff's like, you know what? No, I fucking don't want it. No, why something meaningful. Somebody to fucking Lebanon or Ukraine.
Rick, I think let's get to Alex quicker. I can do the main letter. We don't need to sort of get back and play some of those songs later. I've got Alex, and have I got anybody else? Lucy Fisher from... He's just arrived. So,
yeah, but that's just fucking hard. He messaged me on Saturday. Because I think the desk will lie.
And then what we do is we can play a few of those songs.
That was our reviews. Then James pipes up, go, oh, we've got a spring. And then on the left side, Dad messaged me, we've got a new I went, right, there you go, work, cover. And then the officer, oh, right, I'll respond. I wonder whether they're going to... Why Dan? I mean, yeah, I'd have been annoyed that Dan got first and me, but, you know, eventually got one. Yeah, they should just send that.
I'll take that back.
Well, we've got Lucy's coming till 6, and then Maya's coming to do the late shift. Well, you'd think so. You need to get somebody in place to look at it. This is the identity.
Has resigned. Lost confidence.
They've obviously come back.
Broad contest. It is at
Hi there. Yes, got you, got programmed.
Great.
You started the rumour.
I never heard it.
I imagine.
Hello there. Whose suitcase?
Yeah, she's been saying that.
You're only here till 6, I will, and then Maya's coming. I've got to go to the office and talk.
Hell, Lucy, walking is good.
When are you expecting to be here?
It's not that it's been quiet.
Nice, great.
Quiet. It's still plenty of to lay out some sort of timetable to get.
Stack massive headers. Can you should you fly it on second? Yeah.
I've left the ladder there, but probably shouldn't have gone to that.
Yeah, I wouldn't don't go on it.
It's close enough, yeah.
You saw it, Lucy. Just stand there, Lucy.
Lucy, you can stand up in here,
Stand,
maybe.
that's your position there, right there. Stand on that.
Stand in the street. If not, you
Toby explained me which one it was Henry. I think Henry's is that one.
I think so, yeah.
I regret no buying sandwiches.
Well, just me on that, and the string on the other one. I was going to say, it's worth this up by a couple of years ago. No, it's not this way.
Part of the difficulty
Yeah, they're coming, they're gathering. I don't know what time.
So it's not the same like last year?
No, I don't think, no. Because last year they went down, I didn't cover it, but did they go down
London Bridge. Where's Mr. Richard?
Yeah. So that
Yes, that's right.
That was the picture, wasn't it? Yeah. But there's nothing, now it's that fairly standard route. You know, the students used to do, was go down the way, round Barnes. Yeah. That was where, yeah, because the other group is, yeah, that's the closest one. But that's barricades, fucking police everywhere. I mean, who knows? There might be clashes, but I think it will be sort of running clashes. One gets around one side, maybe around the back of the Charles steps. Yeah, exactly.
Timing is so important from different perspectives.
I won't.
Yeah, we're here.
Alright, that ladder's alright there, isn't it? I mean, Leon's taking that shortly. You're right. Lucy, you can't go on a ladder. Seriously, you can't.
You can go here. Also, me.
Me, you, and Lucy can all take this front row then.
Don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't go on.
We'll just move our ladders and
Back.
stand together.
Yeah.
Is that right? It fits me in there.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's 7 o'clock. Still night?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Freddie, you said quarter to 7?
Yeah.
Half 6. Okay.
That's a long day, Neil. That's a long, long day. you had it in your head, it was
Okay, half six, so that's...
done by 6.
Thanks for taking us through.
It's a tight-knit bunch at the EPA. Tight-knit. Just keeping tabs on each other.
Do you think it's a good time to go for a sandwich? Yeah. 6 o'clock, so yeah, I think this is the time. Otherwise, I'm not going to.
Sorry.
Otherwise, I'm not going to. Yeah, I think it's a good time. Do you think someone will be arriving? I'm going to go now.
As a captain,
What's that? Walking Belgian culture.
Downing Street, heading west out. Remember, she's the end His leader.
Has he already gone in? Oh no, yeah, no. Oh, okay, yeah.
No one sees that.
Then after
No, I wish I bought a drink in. Maybe Leon could. Put an order in. Leon.
a number of questions, I just want to put that.
No, the TV did, they got their pizza.
You put Downing Street?
Yeah, we've had Downing Street. Scroll today, we've got special stuff. I think it's I'm not sure.
Yeah. Please do come, this is a good joke. Yeah. Won't be his last.
Just taking stock of they started with all of those reports that Wes Streeting resign and then
Oh yeah. What time do you go? 5.
the first part of that equation happened around 1 o'clock. Now we're in a situation where the second part hasn't happened. The third part, leadership contest.
Well,
different
he's got
parties,
to
very
announce
different groups. Still talking between this, trying to push their various candidates as they stand. Just going to latest
Has gone very, very quiet, Martin, and also we haven't heard from Andy Burnham. We haven't heard from Ed Miliband. We haven't heard from Angela Rayner. So it's not just Wes Streeting and the Prime Minister that have gone to ground. Frankly, we're struggling to get many statements from many of the characters in this drama at all. On a side note, if a tabloid newspaper tomorrow morning does not run with the headline resignation, I think we'll have fallen so far as a country. Surely one of these papers can carry that and make all of our morning tomorrow morning. But on a serious note, this is of course a very, very difficult time for this government. It does look like almost certainty now that Keir Starmer does not carry the Labour Party into the next election. It does not lead the Labour Party into 2029. And yet there is an open question now in terms of what the path to that looks like. Is there a quick leadership contest? Is there a slow one? Is there no leadership contest at all until after the summer? Is there a fast by-election in which Andy Burnham stands and returns to Westminster? Or what else happens? Could there be more cabinet resignations, more ministerial resignations? It does look like things are simmering just below the surface as we speak. And yet so many of the people that we expect to hear from this afternoon, perhaps going into this evening, are keeping their powder dry as of yet. We have not heard from many of the principal characters in this drama. And that leads to the question, what are they up to? Are they writing their own resignation statements? Are they writing their own leadership pitches? Well, frankly, we only have to wait to find out.
I'll do that with this.
Are you having more?
Let me have a quick look at that on what's going on.
Yeah. Should be next week.
Foil belt.
Not that I'm not happy that it's been spotted those.
Speak.
Do you feel prepared? I feel fine. You're relaxed about it. Yeah, not too it won't be alright. Yeah, it won't be fine. Yeah, but it's like having a backpack on your front. I personally wouldn't feel any
They said that they're going to have
Are you hearing anything?
It's like ramped up like half 5. Should be.
See if you're still here at 5 days a week. Yeah. Maybe see you in 45 minutes.
Probably want to well, your day off.
I will follow up.
So you don't want to get caught out.
I don't.
Like, can you work tomorrow?
Well, that's probably what she's going to ask me to do. And if it was anything other than standing in Downing Street, I would agree to do it. So I can get a new day, which I can take when it suits me. But
What, they won't give you a new day for Downing Street?
no, I'm off tomorrow.
Yeah, but if you came in and worked.
I'd get a new day, but I just don't want to do Downing Street. I just can't bear this place. But also, why would she be asking me to have a day off? But I think that is why she's calling me. But that's how disorganised we are. We've got someone on a day off having to call around to see.
That was Tenerife. That was good actually. I've never been before. It was like a long couple of days, but we kind of knew it was only going to be a couple of days, so it was, we don't mind. So. Yeah. I was really surprised.
Yes, right.
Like usually the only ones to see
Well, don't mention it to Dan.
We actually had a guy, but not from here. AFP had and AP had local guys, and then Simon Jones was there, and Telegraph sent, but not from the UK. They sent a freelancer from Spain.
Was it a British?
James
it was
Needham.
James Breeden. Yeah, he now lives in Spain.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought the Mail would be there at least. And actually, it was very TV heavy. Everyone had a wire there. All the wires were there, and there were some photographers, but I was surprised. Like if it was here, it would have been twice as many photographers probably. There's just a lot. I think a lot of Spanish media are interested in it because once the Spanish left, they a lot of media dispersed as well.
It's quite I mean, it's sort of concluded pretty well, pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I think they realised they needed to show the whole thing.
They were on top of it.
Because it looks like then they were hiding a bit or.
Good restaurants.
I only had one meal in like 4 days. Snacks from the camper van.
What's up?
Lucy, can I take a picture of you? Because you'll thank me for this when the baby's around. Look at me.
the guy here to my water.
Yeah, what was the message?
I told Wes Streeting to do his job yesterday. She said instead he's done a hit job by today. The Labour Party has descended into civil war. On the Green Party, there's a landscape described as really more of the same, even worse.
Why is it? My government's been forced out. Yeah, but that is true. It's not a fight. But what, I mean, as you say, you can just
scroll between the pages a tiny bit.
Presumably, why is he showing his product like that? Show any ID, any reason.
Not massive funds, just in the junctions it gets caught up with all those instructions.
But that was probably police, wasn't it? Victoria. Victoria murder conversation. Had a running it's like thing. She was in asking questions. I was like, am I cool? Basically, fucking gone. Yeah, and then they basically, Tommy Robinson, she was asking him, like, why have you got basically trying to flip it, and then all this support was trying to take it. She's had to come to something here, and it got really nasty. Yeah, she said it was really free, perhaps she regrets. Nothing is happening. I mean, very, very bad. Yeah. Gonna get a fucking awesome bell. Is Starmer going to come out for the First Lady?
You think that conversation around
Oh, is that right?
you think that's still very much alive conversation, even though it's been pulled down to very different
First Lady. Ready? Sega. David. Attenborough. Why don't you call your child Atom?
He is making the argument.
You that lady tested it out.
See a way that he can navigate a way through this. I was particularly struck.
What are you got a name?
With the amount of sympathy actually.
Henry.
Henry's got no nice.
No, Henry is alright. I think my son wants to be called Henry. He's radio like that. It's not. Oh, that's what I said to him. Like, Oscar's a totally good name, and he's got a Japanese middle name. Listen to that. Rio. Yeah, Rio. It's sort of more pronounced Rio. Rio, but I can never pronounce it. And it's R-Y-O. Oh, yeah.
You'd be surprised by what he thinks it is.
Yeah, exactly. Oscar Rio Cole.
His camp is making
Oscar Zimmer.
He's made it pretty clear.
What's your name?
Like the right to break.
Is that right?
If this fizzles out,
utterly nondescript middle name.
how surprised would you
It's better than mine. I'm not telling you, it's awful. Leslie.
Oh my God.
Look at his face light up.
Slagging off Graham. Sorry, Leslie.
Do you know what Leon's is? What's yours? Okay. We have much ammunition. Yeah. Solomon. Yeah. No, that's Solomon. Yeah, Solomon. What's your middle name? Laura. Oh, of course it is. Yeah, on your profile. Yeah, that's very sensible. My wife had to go. She had to arrange like this sort of special hospital taxi back because we didn't have a car, and you basically have to allocate some sort of driving, so you have to have a chosen hospital. It was like middle of Tokyo, and I remember her water's breaking, and she had everything ready, like the bag and that. She's like, right, time's up, it's ready. I'm phoning the taxi. I'm just like, but she jumped in the taxi because it was COVID. I couldn't go with her, and I had to rush to the hospital and got there. I missed it. Oscar took like 7.5 years to pop out. Leo just like, yeah, hi, I'm here.
So it's fine, I won't have that.
Oh yeah, did it? It did, yeah, black and white, yeah. I think Chris Ratcliffe, the Essex Chris, was saying his son or his one of his children, yeah, that's an ambulance, they call it the ambulance. Hospital, was born in the ambulance. Literally got to the bottom of the driveway, baby was born. Yeah, it's quite common. I think the first one.
I had to have this Uncle Chris talking to me about,
Yeah, if you have a pool, you do get a sift.
It's got to be quite a messy experience. Yeah, no, it's quite common. You have to be all sorts. Yeah, it's some site when it's happening, when it's all over.
So if someone come out, just make sure I'll be quite tight. You just got to watch this shot as well.
Where's that? Just baby carrier on the front. That takes a little while. That's like. Yeah, I think that's like. Yeah, it's like when you go in the cabin, you can't go and shake hands. It's like, yeah, okay, so you not touch face without hand. It's proper like this. Wait. Well, it is a little bit. I mean, what? There's no doubt about it. It's not.
Anybody that wants to be healthy is about 12 days.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
to do it by the end of the season.
It would have been fairly obvious that Streeting what way that was going. So you would have had someone. Is there any rumour on social media? At all. That's all right.
Fucked it.
No, it was his.
It's going to go for Jonathan Reynolds.
Did anyone?
No. I just got back.
Yeah. No, they would announce. Don't they normally announce it inside? It goes out on social media.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, but they do.
Reynolds.
They do. I think it's all done in a sort of certain way where.
He's up and down quite regularly.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. I think we would know. You normally just get like a random MP sort of walk up, be like.
Is he got a job?
I hope not, because I've got a
You got him. He's got his back.
When did he go in? No, I think he'd be a little bit more. Well, yeah, I mean, you'd expect journalists.
Yeah, no one said it.
No, surely we would. A thing. It normally is a thing, isn't it?
She,
Oh, yeah, we will. That's just
she said she was
She's only going to know when she gets on.
but the thing is, she will be told. Pretty big deal in the grand scheme of things. Trump visits China. It's state of trade deal. I don't know if it's going to come to pass, but our White House guy said that. Something saying that Trump's got Xi Jinping back into a bit of war, although the Iran thing seemingly basically comes China quite a big way. So that they were going to get China in some way within China having agreed to big airlines Leon's half an hour.
Why is he? Oh, there's a car. That's why you will move. Well, there's another car coming up with a guy.
I think Freddie would be floating about. Hell, he's 22. That's brilliant.
I don't think we're troubling you today too much, are we?
No, we've got some stuff out just to line up. I don't think you've got a camera yet. I don't think you've got a crew yet.
Devon was here, isn't
He was here earlier, but he went off to go and do his job.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him come back in.